with Tennessee being Saturday, does that rivalry mean anything to you, or is it just another game to you?
No, I think it means a lot to everybody. I mean, everybody that's been part of this program, and that's why it's rivalry week. And again, a really good team, been playing well. They've been good since we've been here, so it's nothing new for us. It's one of our biggest games on the schedule, and we got them at home. At first this time they're playing really well. We're still trying to figure out some things with ourselves, but it's a great opportunity to play a great team and hopefully come out the way we did last year. Last year was a lot of fun to be able to finally get over the hump with that particular team. And again, the schedule kind of offered us a good opportunity to heal up for some of our guys who've been having some nagging injuries, as well as to kind of lock in and try to tighten up some of the things we want to do on both ends of the floor.
Do you feel like they maybe have a new dimension with Dalton Connect now?
Yeah, I mean, Dalton is a really good player. I mean, he's shown that in these games, the numbers that he's been able to put up. I mean, I think they're historic numbers in some instances. So, and he's a guy that we definitely have to worry about his ability just to shoot over people. I don't think he takes bad shots. He takes good shots, but he doesn't need a lot of room. So it's important for us to make sure that we have someone with length on him and someone to really try to be physical and make it tough on him. But he's definitely a good player. But they got other players that we have to worry about. I mean, I think Adu, what he brings to the table, I think he's probably one of the most improved players in our league. Vescovi seemed like he's been here before I was here. You know what I'm saying? And so he's been around a long time. But again, they got Josiah James, same thing. They got guys that know how to play, so we can't just focus on one guy, but we do know that he is a focus of what they're trying to do on the offensive end.
Is there anything throughout the week, having a few days off, that you guys have noticed or maybe harped on more recently?
No, for us, I mean, it's just about getting guys like Tyron really hadn't done anything. Tyron and he and Ed has just been gutting it out, trying to get through games. Hadn't really been able to practice a lot, so it's been good that we've had this stretch. Most everybody kind of received somewhat of a bye, and this was our week to get it this week, and it came at a good time because they had Sunday off after the game. Monday we got some work in, but he was off. Him and Ed had a really light day. Wednesday was off, so now we get back to work a little bit today. Still won't try to put too much on them, and then really have a focused day tomorrow going into the game on Saturday.
What dimension does it add to this game, given what happened last year with Tyron's buzzer beater?
I don't know. I mean, nothing about last year has anything to do with this year. We just got to try to focus on continuing to get better, and which we are. I mean, I like the improvement of our freshmen and what they've been able to do. All of them had against really good competition, whether it be Alabama or Auburn or whoever. I mean, these guys individually have had some moments, and that's promising for us. But we need to try to get a little bit more of a collective effort throughout our run. Maybe have a couple games that have a couple guys that have a good game, and then it's an off game from a couple guys. But if we can find a way to get maybe 3 or 4 guys to consistently have output, I think we've been doing some good things defensively. Still rebounding the ball is key for us, especially when we go to our special packages, like our zone package of our 1-3-1, some of our fist defense. Those things, it's important for us to secure the rebound, and so that's the thing we've probably been harping on more this week than anything, is just really bringing a physical tone to going and securing rebounds after we show that we can get those initial stops.
Do you find it's harder to rebound when you're in a zone?
Just typically it is. I mean, I just think that's what most coaches, when you're in the zone, guys don't really have like their matchup. You got a matchup that now you got to go more and try to find somebody in your area. So that's a little bit more difficult. But but that's the key. There's somebody in your area, and then going and trying to put a body on them, not just looking, because it's just guys have gotten really sophisticated with attacking the offensive boards. They wait for you to look and see if you're not coming, and then when you turn your head, that's when they try to attack. And we try to use that as well. We want to use that to get a little more offensive opportunities ourselves, making sure that we get guys crashing. We got guys that got the athletic ability and the length to be a factor on the boards, but it just takes the effort and the want to, and that's what we're trying to build up a little bit this week in our practice sessions.
Given both the rivalry and your current record, do you feel like this game has higher stakes than typically?
No, only stakes that we're worried about right now is just trying to continue to improve, and I think that we do what we're supposed to. We follow the game plan a little bit more. Obviously, make a few more of our open opportunities, and that gives ourselves the best chance to kind of get off the snide. We've been more of about one possession, one game at a time, not thinking about kind of the so-called hole that we've kind of dug for ourselves, and kind of the high. I mean, right now Tennessee's by far, I think, has shown that they're the class of the league right now, by record and just by how they played. So it's a big test, but all that stuff is kind of out of the window when you get these type of games, when it's going to be the excitement that we know that's going to be in this building for both sides. Again, I mean, obviously there's a lot of Tennessee fans in Nashville, and Vanderbilt fans are going to be here trying to make them unhappy, and hopefully we can do our part to have them have a long night like they did last year. But it's a big test for us, but it's something that we're definitely capable of if we play up to our capabilities.
Just big picture, since you've gotten here, how have you seen the sport as a whole change, and how have you kind of had to adapt to that? I guess college basketball as a whole, not necessarily on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's been obviously a lot of things have changed. We kind of came into just this situation. It's all new. I mean, whenever you take a new job and you come into a new environment, there's always a learning curve, right? Honestly, here it took us probably about really 3 years before we knew our head from our ass. So, to be honest, and so I think now, and then on top of that, then COVID hit. So there's a lot of context that goes in between, the beginning and where we are right now. Obviously, NIL and transfer portal and all those things are, come into play, and it's just the reality of it. It's like, we have some challenges there, but it's still challenges that we feel that we can meet. Right? We can't not. You go to school here. Not everybody can go here. Not a lot of the guys that have a lot of value in NIL are the older players, the juniors and seniors. They can't transfer here. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I mean, so our target is more freshmen, sophomore, and grads, and that's just what it is. We were fortunate to have somebody like Ezra who gave back some credits because he wanted to be a part of this program, so bad, and he wanted to be here. But not a lot of people would do that when they would have such a easier transition going to any other school in the SEC and in the majority of the schools in the country. So those are things that we battle, but I think there's going to be legislature coming down the pike that's going to be able to help try to even out the playing field a little bit as far as NIL goes, and I think that we'll be able to be a player in those markets, as well as I think targeting more, maybe even 5-star type talent for us now that we going to be able to, again, once that legislation come down the pike. It's still a ways in the work, but there's a lot of talk about it, and we're excited about that talk. That's what I signed on for when I decided to make the commitment to be here at Vanderbilt. I knew that we were in the process of building something special, and the vision that I have, it's far exceeds. We knew that we were going to have some challenges as far as adapting to the new environment of college basketball, but we're all committed to it, and I think that our day is coming.
You feel you've kind of evolved in those aspects more recently?
As far as?
Like NIL and the portal over the last offseason or so?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was, our NIL initiative last year was keeping our own player, right? Like, it's just the reality of it, that I think I spoke about it, I knew about it, I knew where it was going. Everybody didn't want to believe it, but that's where it's going. I mean, it's probably a budget for a college basketball team, as far as NIL is going to be to maintain a roster, is going to be somewhere between, probably $1.5 million to $2.5 million. That's just the reality of what it is, and I think that we hadn't been there. We hadn't had to do that. None of our freshmen that are on our roster right now were on any type of NIL. Probably won't stay that way. I mean, we got some guys that have helped themselves in creating NIL value. So our outlook is to make sure that we keep this group intact, as well as try to improve our roster through those means as well. But again, it's a little bit of a learning curve, and it's still some things that we won't just be able to probably do as everybody else do. But that's always been the Vanderbilt way, but we still feel that there's a path for us to have the success that we want to achieve. We got to get older, I think that's what that's why we started over. I mean, everything needed to kind of fall in place. We lost a lot of key contributors last year, for a number of different reasons, and we started over. And I think that we were hoping everything worked out, that the grad transfers that we came in would, hit the ground running, and obviously just hadn't had the success that we would hope for. And again, that's a lot of context, and nobody really cares about context, right? Everybody wants to, in this day and age, if you got to get it done, and if you don't get it done, we want heads on a stake, and we understand that. We understand that's part of the business that we're in, but it don't stop us from continuing to work and grind and make sure that we, give these guys everything that we get to get better, to ultimately help our team get better.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.